I just want to start this video off by apologizing to everyone that made Shugoki. I don't think that Shugoki gets enough attention as a hero, and is definitely down there with Valkyrie as some of the least talked about heroes in my opinion. I've tried using Shugoki seriously in the past, but gave up after a few games each time because he just wasn't my style. But recently I gave him another serious chance since some of you guys really wanted me to talk about him along with the other heroes in this little discussion series, so finally today I will tell you how I feel about Shugoki. And without sugarcoating it, right now in For Honor's current state, he feels like he's just so far behind the rest of the cast and is definitely one of the worst heroes in the game, especially in duels. In 4v4, he has some sort of use with his Demon's Embrace, especially if you're team fighting, because it basically guarantees a kill if you have a teammate around. Now recently his Demon's Embrace got another nerf, with it no longer giving him full health if his opponent is killed in his arms, which in my opinion wasn't really needed right now. They could have at least waited until, he got a full-blown rework. Now with my time with Shugoki, the biggest thing I realized is that Shugoki has a really tough time dealing damage against opponents who can block and counter guard break. He's big, but he just feels weak. Don't get me wrong, there are some really good Shugoki players who have tons of patience and really have taken the time to learn every little thing about him. But even those players can be trumped by an average player using an above average hero. Shugoki's playstyle is not only boring to play as, but also kinda boring to play against. His moveset is really small, and while you're using him and facing an opponent with competent defense, you really have to try your hardest to land an attack. His light attacks are pretty slow and can be parried on reaction. His heavies are slow, and his charged heavy, while it does have some use and does pretty good damage, is pretty easy to parry since there's a point in the attack where it can no longer be feinted. And since he has such weak offense, you kinda have to resort to using the only decent thing you have, and that's his hyper armor. Shugoki can eat a hit with his hyper armor and basically trade with other attacks, either with a light attack and a headbutt or a guard break. This really slows down fights and is just annoying to go against and not really too fun to use since it doesn't feel rewarding. And while we're talking about his hyper armor, for some reason Yubi decided that he has less health when his hyper armor is down, making him pretty squishy for his size. Now before the parry changes, Shugoki could just wall camp and wait for a parry or trade with a guard break, and then throw his opponent into the wall for free damage and free health with the Demon's Embrace. This alone could win Shugoki games and was one of the most frustrating things to go against in the game. But now that he can't get a free guard break with a parry, landing his Demon's Embrace is tougher than it was, stripping him again of one of his only tools. Demon's Embrace was a good idea when the game released, but the problem with it now is that it has some pretty bad tracking, it damages him if he whiffs, has bad recovery on a whiff, and has the ability to one-shot opponents. Now to me, I think that Shaman's Bite is superior in every way. It's easier to set up, it's faster, it doesn't need a wall to land, and it also doesn't drain her health if she misses. And while I think the one-shot thing is completely terrible, especially if there's a way to guarantee it, I will say it's one of the only things going for him. I'd be way happier if they would just remove the one-shot and the constant hyper armor and replaced it with something more thoughtful to make him really feel powerful. Right now he just seems so underwhelming and he could be so much more, and it would kinda suck if Shugoki doesn't get anything in Season 6. I have a feeling that he will get some sort of buff though, not a full-on rework, but a buff in the same way Highlander did at the start of Season 5. Shugoki has only gotten nerfed from release, and I can't think of a single time he's been seriously buffed, and if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments, but they nerfed his charge, they nerfed his Demon's Embrace, and parry changes indirectly nerfed him. The introduction of new heroes and 5 heroes being reworked now just makes him feel even weaker. I like Shugoki's design, I like how he's this really big hero and how comical his executions and emotes are, and it's just weird that his playstyle revolves around turtling. I want Shugoki to feel like a boss fight almost. He should be kinda slow, but he should be threatening. Getting hit by him should really hurt, and he should be able to put pressure on his opponents without abusing his passive hyper armor. Again, I have a feeling that he'll get a buff similar to Highlander, but if I'm wrong, then Shugoki mains may have to wait another couple of months to get some love. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. I'm sorry it took so long to make this one, but playing Shugoki just isn't fun to me. I do want to hear your opinion, so tell me what you think of Shugoki. Do you think I'm completely wrong and that Shugoki is fine? Or do you agree with me and you think that Shugoki really needs some help? And as always, if you agree with me or just like the video, feel free to leave a like and sub if you're new. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.